to have a call of order? Could I have a roll call, please?
Smith.
Here.
Clute.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Robish.
Present.
Mayor Harrington.
Here. And John, need a pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public forum. Do you have anybody here for a public forum tonight that wants to step up? We do have, Janice is working the phones tonight. She will be watching the phone lines. You can call, if you want to call and ask a question, you can. We need your name and address, and she will get my attention and will take your call and answer the question the best we can. Public comments may be sent during the live meeting broadcast at the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city's website at www.hursd.com/citygovernment. In order to use the YouTube and chat feature, please create an account with your YouTube and Gmail or use existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Agenda approval. We do have an amendment on the agenda. It's 4.63. We are going to take that off the agenda tonight and defer it to another time. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda with the removal of 4.3?
Yes,
Four-
4.6.
4.63, excuse me.
Okay, Commissioner Smith has a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Bragg. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion, unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. (4.1) Minutes of August 10th, 2020 meeting. 4.2 Fuel quotes for city departments. 4.3 Raffle filed by Huron House. 4.4 Appointment of Bob Simpson to the Employee Safety Committee for the remainder of unexpired term. 4.5 Reappointment of Darrell Raspy to the Mid-Dakota Rural Water Board of Directors for a 3-year term. 4.6 1, promotion of Randy Schumacher from Street Maintenance 1 to Street Maintenance 2. 4.62, promotion of Matt Dooley from the Street Maintenance 1 to Street Maintenance 2. Number 4, hire recommendation for a wastewater treatment uncertified position. Number 5, resignation of part-time seasonal employee Carson Herbie from the pro shop attendant position. And number 6, hiring of Damon Robich to the part-time position, the pro shop attendant position. Payment of 4.7, payment of the bills. Motion to approve.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Smith, the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Do we have any discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Number 5, bid quote items, 5.1. Consider payment requested number 2 for Midland Construction Inc. for bid number 2020-11 Southtown Residential Development Street and Utility Improvements for $208,150.92. Assistant engineer. Rick? Almost had the assistant there.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor. This is a pay request here for Southtown Development. It covers most of the utilities on Schedule A, 22nd Street and Firehouse Drive. Since this, they all also have finished utilities on Schedule B and C, but that'll be coming in a pay request in the next week or two. But we recommend payment on this. Progress is moving well on that project, and we are on schedule at this point here to finish before the end of the year.
Very good. We have a motion on this item.
Motion to approve the payment request.
Motion approved by Commissioner Clute. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Braddock. Any discussion? See no discussion, for the roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish. Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Next up, number 6, petition and communications, 6.1, semi-annual update of Greater Huron Development Corporation, and we are honored tonight to have Ted with us to give us all he knows.
Thank you, Mayor. Last time Greater Huron was in front of the commission was January 13 of 2020. At that time, we had a goal of 100 retention and expansion visits to area businesses. We were doing about 2 a week. On February 26th, we hosted a QuickBooks class, or a couple of them, a beginner and advanced class. We were in planning to help with the high school career expo to be held, I believe it was in April. We were working on a Governor's Office of Economic Development Certified Ready Site application for the Vantage Business Park. And our spec building was being marketed for businesses to purchase a lease, and then COVID-19 hit, and our focus changed at the Greater Huron Development Corporation quite a bit. We went from business and community to development to business and community resiliency. Members participated on the Beetle County COVID-19 Task Force. David McGurr on the planning section, and myself in the logistics section, and I also spent quite a few hours working the call center, which was a rewarding job, but also a little bit nerve-wracking at times, and I won't hear that ringtone from the call center without thinking of my time at the call center answering calls. Thankfully, now that has moved to a different section and someone else is running it and answering the calls. We did send out surveys to area businesses and the public, asking them what they thought we could do to help with recovery and resiliency efforts. And the primary focus was help small businesses stay open through this and come out strong on the other side. And what came out of that was the Forward Huron Loan Program. Paul Christian and Terry and Nancy Schultz each donated $100,000, so we had a $200,000 pot of funds, of which we've moved about $80,000 out into area businesses to help with their efforts and recovery after the pandemic. Some of them retail, some of them small one-person shops like a daycare. We had a big influx of daycares after we approved the first one, so the in-home daycares apparently all know each other and talk to each other very well. Rental assistance program was funded in part by a donation from Denny Sanford. That was set up, and we've gone through a fair amount of money with that, and both of those programs have received other donations other than the seed money that was used to start them. And our spec building went from a business development site to a testing site for COVID-19 once things moved out of the 4-H building. It works pretty well for that purpose. People can drive in one door, out the other. They're indoors the whole time. The people working are indoors. They have bathroom facilities inside and a fair amount of space. So hopefully, knock on wood, things slack off in the near future and we won't need that facility much at all anymore. But it is there, and we plan to allow the community to use it as long as we need The slowdown wasn't a shutdown, and since then, we've seen construction in Southtown, Iverson Auto, scheduled to be complete in September, open in October with a grand opening for Halloween. We've had several new houses start in Southtown, 3 single-family homes and 1 duplex. More in the works. We've had quite a bit of interest in single-family home lots especially, and some interest in multifamily development. What else? Broadland Creek, there's 1 lot left on the golf course, and we have an agreement in place. We have not executed it, so we'll be coming to the city for a quitclaim deed for that lot in the very near future. The Vantage Business Park is now listed as a Governor's Office of Economic Development Certified Ready Site. And what that means in the short version is that it's a more marketable site to area and out-of-state businesses because they know it's developable above ground and below ground without environmental concerns. Spec 9, again, still, that's our spec building, is still being used for the COVID-19 testing site and will be for as long as we need it to be. Trust Built broke ground last week on a 101,000 square foot addition to their facility, which is about 100,000 square feet. And that'll be 25 to 30 new jobs in the community. And they expect to be complete yet in 2020. We're having an online job fair at greaterhuron.com this month, so anybody that has job listings can reach out to Greater Huron and we'll post them on our website and promote them as well. Reading financial statements is an online training class next week on August 26th, noon to 1. It's free, it's online, and there's more information on Greater Huron's website, greaterhuron.com. Again, that's reading financial statements, a 1-hour training class over lunch on August 26th. And I'll wrap it up there and thank the city for all of your support for Greater Huron over the years. We appreciate everything you've done for us. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions for Ken? Rich?
Just a quick follow-up, we were discussing this previously. Do you know how many governor's economic ready sites are in the state of South Dakota right now?
Right now, I believe there's 6 or 7 industrial parks that are listed. I should say 6 or 7 communities. Some communities have more than 1 industrial park.
Ted, can you update us on Northwestern's project that they're getting started on? What that will mean to the community and
The total project construction cost of everything is around $90 million. And 100 employees at peak construction, 5 to 7 new full-time jobs once it's up and running that aren't here now. These aren't people they're bringing in from somewhere else. They're creating new positions to operate this facility. They should be starting any day with dirt work and operational within a year, a little over a year once they start. So it'll have a pretty nice impact on the community. If it's annexed into the city limits, it's around $250,000 in property tax income that the city would receive. So it's a big deal. And the jobs created out there will be fairly high-paying jobs. I think the starting wage was $35 to $40 an hour.
Did you say how many jobs?
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
So it's not a whole lot of new jobs for that big of an investment, but a power plant typically doesn't generate a whole lot of new jobs. And we know it's not going anywhere.
thank you.
Yes.
Any questions for Ken? That was Ted Hayter. He's head of our Greater Huron Development Corporation. Ted, thank you for your
Thanks,
input.
Ted.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. 6.2, public hearing to consider transferring 2021 retail on-off sale malt beverage to South Dakota Farm Wines license for Red Stallville Fire Pit Pizzeria from 357 Dakota Avenue South to 460 Dakota Avenue South.
Yeah, this is a transfer mostly just for location. Fire and the inspections department have done the inspections and there's no deficiencies. And we all recommend approval of the transfer.
We have a motion for approval.
Move approval.
Move approval by Commissioner Coop, need a second.
Second.
Any discussions?
I just have a point of clarification.
Commissioner Smith, yes.
Pauline, this is a transfer of malt beverage license, correct?
Correct.
Not transfer of,
It's not a liquor license,
Liquor
it's malt
license.
beverage and South Dakota wine.
thank you.
Any other questions? Now, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Moving on to ordinances and resolutions. Second read for the ordinance number 2013-18-76, redevelopment neighborhoods, formula for assessment valuations. Our city attorney, Tucker Gillespie. Tucker, do you have a comment on this?
Yes, this is just the second reading of the ordinance discussed last week. What it does is it updates the city's ordinance with regard to the state law reference to the discretionary tax formula as it applies to redevelopment neighborhoods. The state law reference currently contained in the ordinance is an outdated reference. It was repealed. And this just cleans that up and inserts the new updated state law reference to continue the discretionary formula for our redevelopment neighborhoods.
You need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Smith, motion to approve. Do we need a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Thank you, Tucker.
Thank you, Mayor.
Department items. Consider renewal of the joint funding agreement by U.S. Geological Survey for a stream flow gauging station on James River, authorized the mayor to sign.
So this is our annual agreement that we have with the Department of Interior. We pay $1,470 and the total amount is $2,670. They pay the other portion. This is so we have access to the gauging systems on the river. I would ask for approval.
We have a motion for that approval.
Move approval of the renewal and authorization of the mayor to sign the same.
Commissioner Coop. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Smith. Any discussion?
Just one question, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Is that pro rata share the same as it always has been, Pauline?
It actually is, I looked that up this afternoon. It changed a couple of years ago. It increased our portion from $12.70 to $14.70.
Is that a yearly fee for us?
Yearly fee.
Any other questions? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 8.2, consider agreement with the South Dakota Department of Transportation for Airport Project 3-46-022-38-2020 for CARES Act funding and authorize the mayor to sign. Tonight we have Larry Cooper, is our airport manager here tonight to explain this to us. Welcome, Larry.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission members. The grant agreement is the same thing as what we normally sign for airport improvement grants. The CARES grant is something new this year. It's a 100% funded grant. Was put forth by Congress just for the airport community. There was approximately $65 billion set forth by Congress for airports, based primarily on the activity at each airport. For example, we are getting $30,000 under this grant. Sioux Falls is getting a little over 22 million, Aberdeen a little over 9 million. I think Watertown, Pier, and Aberdeen are getting a little over $1.25 million for it. The 30,000, like I said, is 100%. There's no match for it in this case. What we're doing with it, there's a 4-year repayment. We have up to 4 years to spend it. And what we are currently targeting it for is in the event that we do get the airline service back. One of the things that the airline requires is 3-phase power at the terminal, which doesn't exist currently. I had Muth Electric and Northwestern Energy look at what it would take to move 3-phase power from the closest location, which is behind the stone hangar, over to the terminal building. The issue primarily is once they move it over there, they have to set a new transformer, and that new transformer will require repowering the entire terminal building, as well as the 3-phase power for the airline services. That grant, or that estimate, came in at about $26,000, give or take a bit, and of course that will change depending on when we do it and so forth. But that's the primary idea that we've got right now for the use of that 30,000. By the time we get it installed, there's a good chance that we might use up the whole 30,000 getting it done, but we won't know until we actually get around to doing it. The request to the Secretary of Transportation to reinstate our essential air service has been submitted for several months now, and we have not heard anything from DOT. The last time we checked with them was 2 weeks ago. Our consultant, Mark Sixel, checked with the head of the Essential Air Service Program, and he said, as in the last time, the paperwork's all sitting on their desk. They just haven't addressed it yet. We have a very good possibility of getting that service returned, primarily because they took it away from us illegally. So that doesn't mean that necessarily we'll make them do that, but it gives us a lot better chance. And we have a very good letter of support from SkyWest Airlines, and that's one of the critical parts of the equation that you need to get your service reinstated as a supporting airline carrier. And SkyWest is the largest regional airline carrier in the country. They operate in South Dakota as Delta and United. They have offered us possibility of multiple different service patterns, non-stop to Minneapolis, one stop to Denver, one stop to Chicago, with either Delta, United, or both, depending on what they look at when they come in, if they do come in. So it's something that we definitely want to be able to get the terminal up to speed for them if they are allowed to come into it. Any questions?
Larry, a stupid question, but the electrical update that you're gonna be funding here, would that still have benefit to us even if we don't get the commercial carrier? I mean,
No.
not really, huh?
No, and that's why we're not gonna do it till we hear on the carrier.
I see.
Yeah, we're holding that in,
Okay.
because like I say, we've got up to 4 years to spend it, so
I see.
we're waiting to hear on the carrier.
So if we hear that we're not gonna get it, we're just gonna decline the grant then, or we can
No,
come up with
we
some
won't
other?
decline the grant, we'll just find something else we can
Find
use it
something
for.
else.
It's allowed for anything airport related.
Okay.
We can use it for.
You probably
anything.
said that and I didn't hear it.
Yeah, we can buy equipment with it, or, things like that, do other improvements around the airport. So,
And when did you anticipate we'd hear about that commercial air?
we really don't know. We thought we would hear within 60 days of the grant, or the reinstatement request going in, and it's just sitting there right now, so we're not sure, to be honest with you. I think it's going to take until this COVID thing gets over with, because right now the airlines are laying off pilots like crazy. They're parking airplanes all over the country. SkyWest, for a long time, was just worried about staying in business, and they're in better shape now, but I think the latest number I heard is 85% of all flights that used to happen in the United States are parked right now. So we need to get somewhat back to normal. I think for the Secretary of Transportation will look at increasing service in place.
Maybe 4 years is enough time to do that.
Geez, I hope so. I hope so, yeah.
So the chances are, you stated we could use this money as long as it's used at the airport, so chances are we won't be sending any money back.
Pardon?
We
No,
won't
we
be
won't be
sending
sending
any-
any money back. That's kiss of death in a federal grant program is to give them money back. And then they figured you didn't need it in the first place.
Yeah. Any other questions for Larry? Thanks, Larry, really appreciate your update.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
We need a motion.
I need a motion on 8.2.
I move to approve the agreement and the authorization for the mayor to sign.
Second.
Commissioner Bragg, second by Commissioner Clute. No discussion, I assume. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Moving on to 8.3, consider recommendation from the police chief to surplus and accept appraisal value and sell 2 police handguns. I see the police chief is with us tonight, Devin.
Thank you, Mayor. As you all knew, Dan Slater retired because of a medical condition at the end of May, after 25 years of work with the city. Paul Sides retired as of Saturday with 23 years of experience and dedication to the city. They both indicated that they would like to buy their duty firearms. When Sergeant Skorheim retired earlier this year in March, I believe, we did an appraisal on the same firearms. They've just got 4 more months of use out of them. Back then, the appraisal came in at $250. I'm just requesting that we can sell it to these 2 officers for their years of service at the same price we had with Sergeant Skorheim.
So we have to surplus it tonight and appoint an appraisal committee.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? Which could be Kevin. And Mark. And one other, do you want one of your staff?
Yeah, we can have Adam Dorr do it.
Okay. And then next week we'll have the appraisal committee
Sure.
recommendation.
That works. Pretty simple.
Do you guys just want to huddle up for a minute and say that?
Change some dates.
I would move to approve the potential sale of the firearms to the officers based on appraisal committee review.
Motion by Commissioner Smith, for a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bragg. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Janice, do we have anything?
We do not.
You do not have any questions?
Questions?
With that, that's the end of this. We'll go into a work session.